I organized my daughter's 8th birthday. My whole family bailed. Days later, my sister texted charity gala tickets $1,800 each. Need you to cover for. No apology. So I replied with $1 and best wishes. Changed my locks, blocked everyone. Then, 2 detectives knocked on my door. My name is Savannah. I'm 31, single mom, paralegal by day and budgeting ninja by night. I can recite the price of strawberries at 3 different grocery stores and tell you which Target restocks the 12-pack juice pouches on Wednesdays. My daughter Lily is 8, obsessed with unicorns, allergic to peanuts, and convinced I have superpowers because I can French braid her hair without YouTube tutorials. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment in Austin, with a balcony barely big enough for a folding chair and a potted basil plant I keep forgetting to water. My family lives 15 minutes away in Round Rock, and for years, I thought that meant we were tight. I was wrong about a lot of things. The Saturday of Lily's 8th birthday started simple enough. Purple streamers everywhere. A Sam's Club sheet cake decorated with edible glitter, and Lily's magical 8th written in swirly frosting. I'd rented a bounce house shaped like a castle and set up a craft station with poster board and enough sequins to choke a vacuum cleaner. 7 of her classmates showed up with wrapped presents and gap-toothed smiles. The apartment complex smelled like hot dogs and Hawaiian punch. I kept refreshing the family group chat on my phone. Mom had promised, wouldn't miss it for the world, baby girl. My sister Mallory texted back 3 purple heart emojis and auntie's bringing cupcakes. My brother Troy said he'd swing by after his CrossFit class. I lined up Capri Suns on the kitchen counter and tied goodie bags to the stair railing, so the place looked less like a fire hazard and more like a party. Every 15 minutes, I checked my phone. Nothing. When the pizza guy arrived with 4 large pepperonis, I almost asked him to wait because surely a parade of family would pull up any second. He glanced past me at the handful of kids doing the Macarena and said, "You're all set." The stung more than it should have. 2 o'clock turned into 3:30. The sun shifted. Kids took turns in the bounce house, and one of the neighbors brought over extra folding chairs without me even asking. She said, "Looks like you've got a full house." And I smiled so hard my face felt like plastic. At 3:47 p.m., my phone vibrated. Mom's text lit up the screen. "Sweetie, don't be dramatic. It's just a kid's party." I read it 3 times because my brain refused to process it. Not running late. Not stuck in traffic. Not even happy birthday, Lily. Just that sentence, sharp as a paper cut. I stood in the kitchen holding a bowl of baby carrots nobody had touched, and those words crawled under my skin and nested there like wasps. Lily bounced over, cheeks flushed pink, unicorn headband crooked on her head. "Mom, can we do cake now? Can we sing?" "Absolutely," I said, voice steady as I could manage. "Go round everyone up, sweetheart." We sang. She blew out all 8 candles in one breath because she'd been practicing in secret for a week. She grinned at me with frosting on her nose, and I clapped until my palms hurt. Then I excused myself to the bathroom, where I locked the door and stared at my reflection until my eyes stopped burning. The screen on my phone lit up again while I was rinsing plates. Another message in the family chat, this time from Mallory. "We'll catch you next time. Today got crazy." Then a notification from Instagram popped up. Mallory's story. A boomerang video of mimosas clinking together. The caption read, "Self-care Saturday with my tribe." I clicked it. There was Mom in the background, oversized sunglasses perched on her head, holding a champagne flute like she was in a magazine spread. Troy's tattooed arm, the sleeve I'd helped pay for when he was 23 and between opportunities, draped across both their shoulders. They were at Magnolia Table, that trendy brunch spot downtown where you wait 90 minutes for a waffle. I stood there with a wet sponge in one hand and my phone in the other, staring at a picture of my family living their best lives while my daughter's birthday cake sat half-eaten on my counter. The apartment smelled like vanilla frosting and broken promises. Outside, a kid yelled goal during an impromptu soccer game, and everyone cheered. I put my phone face down on the counter and walked back to the living room. Lily and her friends were sprawled on the floor building a tower out of plastic cups. I handed out slices of leftover cake wrapped in napkins and didn't say a single word about the empty folding chairs lined up against the wall. Not one word. When the last parent picked up their kid at 6, Lily and I collapsed on the couch together. We built the Lego unicorn stable she'd unwrapped earlier, all 47 pieces. She didn't ask where Grandma was. She didn't mention Aunt Mallory or Uncle Troy. Maybe she didn't want to know. Maybe she already understood something I was still learning. At 9:22 p.m., after Lily had fallen asleep clutching her new stuffed dragon, my phone buzzed. Mom's voice message, clipped and casual. "Savannah, don't make a big deal out of this. She's 8. She won't even remember." I listened to it twice. The second time, I noticed how she said she like Lily was hypothetical. Like my daughter's feelings were a weather pattern that would pass. I stared at the ceiling fan spinning lazy circles overhead, and felt something inside me go cold and still and sharp-edged. I didn't text back. Instead, I started cleaning. Folded the streamers into a storage bin. Stacked the leftover plates. Scraped dried frosting off the table with my thumbnail. Put the princess banner into a showbox with the unlit backup candles. I returned the borrowed chairs to my neighbor with a thank you and a tired smile. Then I set my phone on the kitchen counter and left it there, screen down, because if I read one more casual dismissal from them, I was going to say something I couldn't unsay. Something sharp enough to draw blood. I've always been the responsible one. The one who remembers everyone's coffee order and knows which forms need notarizing. The one who shows up. I was 24 when Dad left, and Mom looked at me in the driveway and said, "You're going to have to step up now, Savannah." It wasn't a pep talk. It was a job assignment I never applied for, and I'd been clocking in ever since. When Mallory launched her boutique consulting business 3 years ago, I built her website. Spent 2 weekends teaching myself WordPress and another 40 hours getting her branding just right. She promised she'd pay me back once the revenue starts flowing. Revenue, apparently, flows everywhere except toward old debts. When Troy got his second DUI at 27, I took a personal day to sit with him in municipal court. Held his hand while the judge talked about suspended licenses and community service. I'm the one who drove Mom to urgent care that winter when she had bronchitis, but refused to stop hosting her book club. I'm the one who Venmo'd Troy's rent when his business opportunity fell through. 3 separate times, each labeled just this once. Every favor came with a soundtrack. Mom's voice, "Family takes care of family." Mallory, posting inspirational quotes about loyalty, while her bank account stayed conveniently empty. "Troy, I'll get you back, Sav. Promise." He never did, but he did lease a Jeep Wrangler with custom rims, so at least his credit worked for something. The day Lily was born, I made myself a promise. She would never sit at a party wondering if her people cared. She would have birthday cake even when the budget was tight. She would get apologies when adults messed up. She would have grown-ups who showed up, not just in group chats but in real life. Money has always been tight. Childcare costs as much as rent. Health insurance costs as much as groceries. I still made it work. Extra shifts, selling my record player to cover an emergency dentist visit, finding Lily's cleats at a consignment sale and scrubbing them with an old toothbrush until they looked brand new. Meanwhile, the family group chat looked like a lifestyle blog. Wine tastings in Fredericksburg. Wellness retreats that were somehow very loud on social media. Mallory's soft life era. Troy's entrepreneur grind with a truck he photographed more than he drove. When I suggested a weekly dinner with me and Lily, Mom said, "Oh honey, my calendar's packed. Let's try next month." Next month never came. But my phone lit up like clockwork on payday. Little green notifications. Quick favor. Small emergency. Don't mention this to Troy. Last November, Mallory booked a girls' trip to Cabo and called me at midnight the night before departure. My credit card got declined for the resort fee. "Can you spot me? I'll pay you back on Monday." Monday came and went like a ghost. When I brought it up 2 weeks later, she sighed dramatically. "Don't be petty, Savannah. Money comes and goes. Experiences are forever." In December, Mom sent me a spreadsheet titled Holiday Gift Strategy. Color-coded columns, price points, a note at the bottom in bold. Let's split costs equally. Equally meant me, because neither of them offered a dime. I bought Lily a winter coat and art supplies. I bought Mom the espresso machine she'd been hinting about since summer. Mallory got a gift card to her favorite stationery store. Troy got running shoes. My gift from them was silence when I asked if anyone could bring dessert to Christmas dinner. It added up. Not just in my bank app, but in my chest. In the space where boundaries should have been. 3 days after Lily's birthday, I woke up to a new message in the family group chat. All caps. Exclamation points. Glitter emojis from Mom. Family announcement. Must RSVP by Thursday. Annual Children's Hope Charity Gala. My cousin Natasha is hosting. Tickets are $1,800 per person. I need Savannah to cover 4 tickets. Hers, mine, Mallory, Troy. Venmo ASAP. No good morning. No, how was the party? Just a financial demand disguised as a family obligation, delivered with the urgency of a tornado warning. Attached was a PDF that looked like a wedding invitation on steroids. Natasha in a floor-length gown. A hotel ballroom dripping with crystal chandeliers. A menu that read like a Michelin restaurant. Seared duck breast, truffle risotto, chocolate lava cake with gold leaf. I stared at the number until it stopped looking real. $1,800 per person. Times 4. $7,200 total. Then I saw the kicker. A note from Mom at the bottom. Savannah, I already told Natasha you'd handle this since you're the most financially organized. Deposit due by Monday. Not a request. An assignment. Like she was delegating a work task. 5 minutes later, Mallory chimed in. OMGs. This is going to be iconic. Savannah, can you also coordinate a group gift? You're so good at that stuff. Troy's message popped up next. Is there an open bar? If so, totally worth it. Sav, you got me and my girlfriend, right? I set down my coffee and felt the heat of it anyway, burning through the mug into my palm. I typed no, then deleted it. Typed it again. Deleted it. Not because I didn't mean it, but because I knew they wouldn't hear the word. They'd hear an attitude problem. I clicked back to the PDF. At the very end, there was a special thanks page listing sponsors. And there, in elegant script under the Gold Benefactors section, was my full name. Savannah Clark, in honor of family generosity. I hadn't donated a penny. Nobody had asked me. Mallory must have submitted it. I recognized the headshot. She'd pulled it straight from my LinkedIn profile without permission. My stomach did a slow roll. I scrolled back through Saturday's messages to see if I'd missed an apology somewhere. A sorry we couldn't make it buried under a meme. There wasn't one. Just Mallory's brunch boomerang and Mom's voice message calling my daughter's birthday, just a kid's party. Another text dropped into the chat. Mom again. Also, I spoke with the venue coordinator. They need the deposit by Friday. I told her you'd wire it since you're always so reliable. The deposit. For a charity gala that cost more than 3 months of my rent. Assigned to me like picking up dry cleaning. I picked up my phone to call her. Put it down. Picked it up again. My hands were shaking, and I didn't trust my voice to come out calm enough to be taken seriously. That night, while Lily did homework at the kitchen table and hummed a song from class, I printed out the sponsor page and set it next to my grocery list. 2 columns. 1 for what I give. 1 for what they take. I started writing. Lily's art camp. Mine. Court fee for Troy's license reinstatement. Mine. Website hosting for Mallory. Mine. Birthday cake. Mine. $7,200 gala deposit. Theirs. My name used without permission. Theirs. It's just a kid's party. Theirs. I stared at the paper until the ink felt permanent. The next morning, Mom sent a follow-up message. Savannah, you're being awfully quiet. Don't make this difficult. Natasha is counting on us. She's only hosting this gala once. Everything inside me that had been bending for years suddenly stopped. Not anger like fire. Anger like ice. Clear, cold, deciding. There's always a small moment before the big one. For me, it was looking at my keychain and noticing my apartment key. Mom had a spare. Mallory had borrowed it last month for some errand and never returned it. I looked at that missing key and realized my boundaries were made of tissue paper. That afternoon, I stopped by Home Depot. I bought a new deadbolt and 2 sets of keys. The locksmith installed it in 12 minutes. When the new lock clicked into place, I felt something click in my chest, too. Like a vault door closing on something valuable. Then I opened the family group chat. I waited until lunchtime, when they all liked to post and perform at once. 1:34 p.m. The messages started flowing. Mallory posted a latte art photo. Troy shared a gym mirror selfie. Mom forwarded an inspirational quote with sparkle effects. I uploaded a photo of Lily's birthday party. The purple streamers still taped to the wall. The empty chairs lined up like evidence. The cake box with one corner missing where we'd cut slices and wrap them in foil for later. I typed, "This was Lily's 8th birthday party. You all said you'd come." I let it sit there. The replies came exactly like I knew they would. "Mallory, why are you doing this here? Text me privately." "Mom, don't guilt trip us, Savannah. We have lives. Saturdays are impossible." "Troy, dude, don't be a martyr. Kids don't even care about that stuff." I posted a screenshot from 2 weeks earlier. Mom's message, "Wouldn't miss it for the world." Then Mallory's, "Auntie's bringing cupcakes." Then the brunch photo with all three of them, champagne and smiles, captioned my tribe. No commentary. Just the receipts. Facts have gravity. Silence. Then Mom again. "That's enough. We are focusing on the gala now. Be an adult and send the deposit." I typed slowly, deliberately, "I'm being an adult. I'm Lily's mother. And my answer is no." Another pause. Mallory responded with a dismissive emoji. "Don't make everything about your kid." I stared at those words until they burned into my vision. Then I wrote, "You didn't come to your own niece's birthday. A week later, you sent me a $7,200 bill. You put my name as a sponsor without asking. You told the venue I'd pay. You called me difficult when I didn't respond fast enough. Here's my response. No." I hit send. Then I opened Venmo, found Mom, and sent her $1. The note, "Best wishes." That was it. $1. 2 words. A mirror held up to the absurd. I blocked all three of their numbers. Not forever, not out of cruelty, but because I knew what was coming. The flood of messages. The "how dare you" and "after everything we've done and you're tearing this family apart." I needed quiet to hold the line. So I held it. At dinner, Lily asked for seconds of broccoli and told me a joke about a penguin at a library. She didn't know her mom had just burned a bridge that would reshape our lives. Maybe she didn't need to know yet. What she needed was a mom who didn't flinch. By 9 p.m., voicemails were piling up on the blocked numbers. I didn't listen. The last text that came through before the block fully kicked in was from Mom. "You will regret this. Don't forget who raised you." I set my phone face down on the counter and took out the trash. The next morning, Mallory posted an Instagram story. A glittery countdown graphic for the gala. 7 days away. Shout out to our gold benefactors. My name glowed underneath in script font. The comments poured in. So generous. Family goals. I pulled up the venue's website and sent a formal email. Remove my name from all materials immediately. I did not authorize sponsorship. I attached screenshots, the group chat, the unauthorized use of my photo, everything. I CC'd someone with events manager in their email signature. Then I forwarded the same email to Mom and Mallory from a new address they didn't have, so they'd read it through the lens of corporate liability. I slept hard for the first time in weeks. The kind of sleep where you don't hear phantom notifications. 2 days later at 8:17 a.m., there was a knock at the door. Not casual. Firm. Official. I looked through the peephole and saw 2 police detectives, badges visible. My stomach dropped. "Morning," the taller one said when I opened the door. "We're responding to a call about a welfare concern." "What kind of concern?" I kept my voice steady. Lily was in the living room, still in her unicorn pajamas, watching cartoons with a bowl of Cheerios. "Family member reported that you made threats and are holding their property. Also requested a welfare check on a minor at this address." There it was. 3 accusations in one move. Paint me as unstable, accuse me of theft, and weaponize concern for my own child. Efficient. "Come in," I said, stepping aside so they could see a clean apartment, a happy kid, A normal morning. The taller detective did a polite visual sweep. The shorter one nodded at Lily. "Hey there, sweetheart." Lily waved her spoon. "Hi. Can we talk in the kitchen?" I asked. They followed me a few feet away, and I kept Lily in my line of sight. Years of single parenting teaches you to host even while being investigated. "This is about my mother and sister," I said. "They didn't come to my daughter's birthday. Then they demanded I pay $7,200 for a charity event. I said no and changed my locks. They don't like that word." The taller detective's mouth twitched like he was suppressing a smile. "That tracks." I slid my phone across the counter, folder open. Screenshots of everything: the group chat, the birthday no-show, the brunch photo, the gala invoice, the unauthorized sponsor listing, my email to the venue, the $1 Venmo with best wishes. The detective scrolled through silently. "Evidence stacks well when you live inside receipts." "Any weapons in the house?" he asked, because procedure required it. "Only butter knives," I said. "And Lily's toy wand from her Elsa costume." He smirked. "Custody disputes? Court orders?" "No. Lily's with me full-time. Her father isn't involved. We are fine." He glanced toward the living room. "You okay, kiddo?" Lily gave a cheerful thumbs up, mouth full of cereal. "What about property?" the shorter detective asked, checking his notes. "Caller said you were holding a family heirloom and refusing to return it." I blinked. "What heirloom?" He read from his notepad. "A necklace with sentimental value." His eyebrows lifted slightly, and I saw the moment he understood the absurdity. "The only necklaces in this apartment are made of macaroni," I said. "If she means the spare apartment key, I changed the locks yesterday. I can give you the old one if that helps." We all looked at the old key sitting on the counter like a prop in a bad play. The detectives exchanged a glance, then turned back to me. "Here's the situation," the taller one said. "We see this a lot. Family gets used to something: money, access, free help. Someone changes the terms. They panic. They call us. We check to make sure nobody's in danger, then we file a report that says no danger found." "That would be great," I said, and my shoulders finally dropped. "Do you want to document anything on your end?" the shorter one asked. "Yes." I pulled up my email to the venue and the written request to remove my name. I wanted on record that they used my name for a financial commitment without consent, and I formally asked them to stop. "Smart," he said. "Paper trails matter. Keep everything. If anyone shows up here and won't leave, call us. Don't engage." They left me a card and walked out into the morning light. I stood at the door feeling hollowed out and clear at the same time, like after a fever breaks. 20 minutes later, my email pinged. The venue manager replied, "We have removed your name from all materials. We apologize for the confusion." I exhaled. One thread cut clean. At noon, my aunt, Mom's older sister who exists on the periphery of family drama like a reasonable ghost, texted from a number I didn't recognize. "I heard what happened. I'm sorry. They're furious, but I think you did the right thing." "I didn't do anything," I typed back. "I just stopped doing everything." She sent back a single emoji, a small, sad smile. The only time I've ever appreciated one. That afternoon, I took Lily to the park. We shot baskets until the sky turned pink and gold. Her laughter bounced off the backboard, and I thought about how cheap joy actually is, until someone tries to invoice it. We got milkshakes on the way home. She lined up her toy horses on the coffee table, and I let her stay up late watching a movie. I didn't check my phone for updates about a gala I would never attend. I didn't want to know what centerpieces look like when they're paid for with someone else's guilt. The next week, my life rearranged itself the way a room does after you move furniture and realize it never belonged where it was. I told my boss I couldn't cover weekend shifts for a while. He said, "Good. Go be a mom." I put a sticky note on the fridge, summer camp application, due Friday, and actually submitted it on time. I made a Google Drive folder labeled Boundaries Receipts, and whenever a voice in my head tried to argue, "You're being harsh, you'll regret this," added another screenshot and the voice went quiet. On Thursday, A card arrived in the mail. Kid handwriting, crayon drawings of unicorns. Dear Lily, happy birthday. Sorry we missed it. My mom said we had to go somewhere else, but I wanted to see your cake. From Emma. $2 were taped inside. Lily grinned like she'd found treasure. I took a picture of her holding it and saved it to my phone, a reminder that some people still knew how to show up. That night, after Lily fell asleep with chocolate smudged on her cheek, I sat on the balcony with my basil plant and looked out at the city lights. My phone stayed inside, silent and irrelevant. For the first time in years, I felt the weight lift. Not the weight of responsibility. I'd carry that gladly for Lily forever. But the weight of carrying people who refused to carry themselves. The weight of being the fallback plan, the emergency contact, the wallet with legs. I thought about that empty folding chair at Lily's party. The one I'd set out for my mother. For years, I'd been saving seats for people who had no intention of sitting in them. Not anymore. The lock on my door was new. My daughter was safe. My bank account was mine. And the space where my family used to stand, demanding, taking, assuming, was finally, blessedly empty. I could fill it with something better now. I already was.